And it's interesting because I listened to my colleagues talk and I was like, oh, we've got that in common. And I'm like, oh, I'm very different about that. But so I started at the ripe age of 14 as a reporter at the Suburban Journals. Did I lie and tell them I was 16? Yes. So confidence carries you almost anywhere. And that's a lesson that I have learned. I heard Mike say half the stuff that he does now, he doesn't know how to do it. I'm still, like, I'm almost 3 decades into my career, and still half of the stuff that I work on a daily basis is stuff that I have no idea what I'm doing until I learn it, right? So fake it till you make it will carry you through. Practical experience is a great teacher. Be easy on yourself. Like, are you guys like the type A kind of, I mean, I remember I was like, oh, I'm so ready to get my career started, right? Like, I graduated college when I was 20, started my job when I was 20. Be easy on yourself, I would say. Like, give yourself some grace throughout the course of your career, because you will have plenty of time to go on your own journey. So I have an MU broadcast journalism degree, like Christy. I was a theater kid and loved storytelling, a journalism kid, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be Katie Couric. And I honestly never wavered. If you would have asked me from 14 to 20 what I was going to be, that would have been my answer. Have I ever worked in that industry besides internships? Nope. Right? So it's okay to pivot. Like, I realized live shots made me want to pee my pants, right? And I'm not a morning person, so I probably wasn't suited for that industry. So just identify and follow your through line. Like, the 2 or 3 things that you know that you're great at, that you love, and that can provide value to an organization. Like, once you know those things, I've done, like, I'm not gonna tell you what my 2 or 3 things are because it's probably interesting only to me, but I've had a wide variety of jobs, and those 3 things that I feel like I'm great at have carried me through all the way. I also love sports, so after I decided I wasn't going to be a journalist, I did spend a few years in sports marketing. What I learned there is seek out mentors who are different from you. I think it's really easy to kind of like connect with people that are exactly the same as you. And that's what you kind of want to do emotionally, but you learn the most from the people that are the most different from you. And then I learned that it's okay to pivot, right? Like, because I love sports, I still love sports, I watch it all the time, but working for a team was not for me, right? Like, the work-life balance wasn't a thing. So from there, I actually followed a little bit of Mike's example and moved into the AEC, Architecture, Engineering, and Construction community through Potquist, which is the largest sports architecture firm in the country. So that was kind of fun because I still got to do sports. At that point in time, much like Bethany and her company, it was a small company, right? It was 300 people. I learned so much. I said yes to everything. I learned everything I could. Raise your hand for the stuff that scares you, and then just embrace the crazy moments. I mean, like, most of the stories I tell are from, like, that time. Did I go to the Olympics? Yes. Did I, you know, like the Houston baseball stadium, they have a train that goes in between the, and before they realized they shouldn't do this, they gave the remote control to the owner, who at that point in time was like 98 years old. And he kept on passing around the remote control to everyone in his suite during the first couple of games. And so people would be trying to, like, be literally at bat, professional baseball players, and I'd be like, choo choo, right? So just had some amazing experiences. But I also realized I needed to move on to keep growing, right? I started as PR manager there, ended up as brand manager, wanted to, like, run the whole place. The guy that is running the department, still to this day, 20 some years later, is still the marketing director. So I knew I needed to make a step in order to keep growing and keep learning. And I stepped out on my own. So, which is I'm not really a risk taker, which kind of surprises people. So I had my own agency called Open Book for 15 years. And the first day I was like, how am I ever gonna have enough clients? How am I ever gonna succeed? And I ended up doing it for 15 years. One of the big things I learned is be the kind of person people want to work with. It's not, I mean, you can put someone next to me who's not 10 times better at my job, let's go 2 times better at my job. But if they're like not good to work with, if they cause stress and problems among the project team, they're gonna choose the person that is a positive influence on the team rather than someone that has better expertise. The other thing I learned is no single work environment is perfect. And this is where I'll brag on my colleagues, because I think there's probably, I know when I graduated, I was like, oh, I'm gonna work for an agency. That's where it's most creative. Like, I'm not gonna be a corporate person or something like that. I mean, I have found, we go to conferences now and have all these big thought leaders and experts sharing what you should do next, and 90% of the time we're already doing it in our in-house agency. Some of the most creative, strategic, fun stuff is happening in a corporate environment where our subject matter is often things that we don't even understand, right? So, but there's opportunity everywhere. So in that 15 years, much like Mike, not my first client, but what became my biggest client was a little company called Burns and McDonnell. So when I was ready to make a change, frankly, I got a little lonely, wanted to work with people. I joined here 3.5 years ago. I was so excited. No, just a little under 3 years ago. I joined January 1st as a full-time employee after working with them as a consultant for 10 years. Was so excited to be in an office and work with people, and then 2 months later the pandemic hit. So that was jokes on me. So what I've learned here is that you always have something new to learn. I mean, you will master things throughout the course of your career. I hope you never master it all. I hope you never, I hope that you're always curious and insatiably curious. Reverse and peer relationships are just as valuable as traditional ones. I learn more from people that are of a different generation than me, in addition to, and I've learned so much from my peers. But I mean, I don't want to age myself and be like old dog new tricks or anything like that, but it's just a way, if you seek to surround yourself and learn from people that are different from you in every way. I think it kind of keeps you excited and passionate about your job. And the people that you work with make such a difference. I mean, obviously, clearly we enjoy each other, right? So that's maybe a little bit of I'm recruiting now, right? So sign up for an internship here, work with us, it's a lot of fun. Special projects. So what does the special projects department do? Yes. We, with a company this large and an in-house agency this large, there's lots of things that fall outside the margins. And so we get pulled into a little bit of